Hi everyone, today I will be reviewing The Godfather. So The Godfather is always on those lists of the greatest films of all time. It's number 2 at the moment on IMDb's top 250. And yeah, if you look at a lot of lists, it's always up there. It's always near the top, if not at the top. And the film is based on a book by Mario Puzo, and it's directed by Francis Ford Coppola and starring Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, Robert Duvall, James Caan, as well as lots of other talented actors. And the story focuses on the Corleone family, who are a New York crime family, well, organised crime family. And the story takes place from 1945 to 1955, so over a period of about 10 years. And it is one of my favourite films of all time. I think it is absolutely fantastic. I don't think there's much about this film that I don't like. I've seen it a few times, and every time I see it I just enjoy it more and more. There are so many iconic scenes in this film and so many iconic lines. Just every part of it is brilliant, to be honest. But anyway, it's alright just saying that. I'll give you some examples. So there's obviously the horse's head scene is obviously a classic. We've obviously got the scene in the diner with the guy in the toilet. Obviously, if you haven't seen the film, you don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't really want to give too much away in terms of spoiling it for you if you haven't seen it, so I'm not going to ruin the ending for you. But needless to say, there's so much about this film that can be said. And another thing which has to be said is the music. The music is absolutely fantastic. The score was done by Nino Rota, and it has this perfect Italian sound to it, which goes very well with the tragic themes of the film. And it's often used in the background, so it's not used really to push in your face all the time, and so it doesn't get on your nerves or anything like that, but it absolutely really fits well with the film. But really, what the main focus of this film is on the characters. The characters themselves are really what make the film, and we have a really interesting bunch of characters. So first of all, Robert Duvall's character, Tom Hagen, he's a lawyer or the chief advisor of the family. Then we have James Caan, who plays Sonny, who is one of the Corleone sons, and he is very reckless, very impulsive, often ends up getting into trouble, often just reacting on impulse without thinking about things. Then we have, well, who the main character is, Michael Corleone, played by Al Pacino, and it's his character that is the main focus of the film and who we see develop the most from the beginning to the end. And really, he starts off being very innocent and not being involved in the crime element of the family, mainly just staying in the background watching, but eventually he learns more and becomes a proper mafia boss figure towards the end of the film. But the real star of the film has to be Marlon Brando as Don Corleone, or the Godfather as everybody calls him. And they call him the Godfather because he's a very well respected figure. People come to him to ask him for advice all the time, and he's that kind of film character who is so iconic that you almost can't imagine anybody else being the Godfather except for Marlon Brando. He just suits the character so well. He's very calm, very controlled all the time, yet at the same time you can tell he's great authority and everyone respects him, and you don't mess with this sort of guy, basically. That is the idea behind him, behind his character. And this film, obviously, it went on to have a couple of sequels, so The Godfather Part 2 and The Godfather Part 3. And The Godfather Part 2, also very, very good film. Godfather Part 3 didn't get quite as good reviews as the first two, but I think out of the three of them, this is my favourite. I do like the second one as well, but you know, this one I think has to be one of the greatest films of all time. The Godfather, you really can't do much better than this in terms of films, really. I mean, it is up there. It's absolutely superb. So in terms of what I don't like about the film, I'm just trying to think of something. I don't know. There's not really much I don't like about the film. It is very good. There is one scene which is a bit of a shame. It's well, I want to say it's a mistake. It's more in terms of how they filmed it and in terms of the angle. It could have been done better, because there's a scene where Sonny, he punches somebody, and you actually see him just punch the air, because obviously it was meant to be filmed from a different angle, but it's now already obvious. Every time I see it, it's annoying, which is a real shame. But yeah, but that's a minor complaint, a really minor complaint in otherwise fantastic film. And if that's any bad thing I can think about, then really that really says it all about the film, to be honest. It's a masterpiece in itself. We really can't complain. So yeah, I'm going to give this film a full 10 out of 10. If this isn't a 10 out of 10, then really nothing else is. I don't think much else needs to be said. It is pretty much perfect. Not much to complain about at all. Absolutely superb film. So there we go. So that's The Godfather. I'd like to know your opinions. Have you seen it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Please let me know in the comments. Anyway, take care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.